Hello, YouTubers. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you guys are. Welcome back to the channel, The World of Ragos, where today we are actually going to talk a little bit about texting and why it is important. And if you hear some funny noise in the background, it's really warm in Germany right now, so I put on the fan. I hope you don't mind. However, recently I had a discussion, or actually a monologue on one of my live streams about how important it is to actually put some good texts on the videos that you're uploading, or also for the live sessions, which applies for them as well. And here's why. Just to give you a very quick insight on that in the first place. So YouTube, as you all know, is part of Google. Google, however, was invented in the first place as a search machine in the internet where you can actually put some buzzwords, for instance, if you want to know something, and that still happens actually, and you can, put you get some results, and you know what people are actually looking for. Now, if you put a video on YouTube, and if you actually create, your content, you have cut everything, you've edited everything, you put the sound, the voiceovers, and all that stuff, a lot of people totally underestimate the magic of a text. Now, going back a long time ago, before the internet existed, people bought books, and I mean books in regards of having a cover paper inside, and there's a cover. Cover usually a little picture, and depending on the genre that you was looking for, you went to some bookstore or some library or something, and what you do, or what you did back then, and you can still do it most likely. At least your parents will have some books at home. You can have a look. There's a front page, there's the title of the book, the name of the writer, and then you have the little picture and stuff like that. But you don't really know what is the content of the book. So you go to the back of the book, the other side of the cover, the back side, and there usually is a short summary of the story that is actually written in there. Obviously, without the outcome, because people didn't really want to make a plot. However, these days things have changed a lot, so it is essential and super important to write a text on your videos and on your upcoming live streams, and even in the little one in the shorts that you write. Why? Because people actually need to find you somehow, right? So for instance, if you don't have too many subscribers, if you're just in the beginning of your content creation journey, this might be a little lesson for you to understand how this should look like and how this actually be. So the most important thing is that you create a SEO text. So you might wonder, what is SEO? And for those who didn't heard that, it's written SEO. It actually stands for, I'm going to just put that up on my screen here so that you can have a look and see what's going on here. And it stands for Search Engine Optimized. For instance, if you put certain things on Google, you will see the top 10 always there on the first page, right? So you will always look like, for instance, what does a Barbie doll cost in the United States? And then you go there on Google, it brings you to Amazon, it brings you to whatever, vendor that sells Barbie dolls, and there you can watch. They pay for it actually, but you don't necessarily have to pay for your adverts on Google. So what you need to do is you have to create a great text. Actually, it is not only for Google, it is definitely also applying for YouTube. And here's why. Just to give you a little example, some keywords on that. So, including words or phrases, people might type into YouTube, especially if it is essential for your text, or if it is going to your text, put some buzzwords. I'll show you an example later on. Have it organized, have it a little bit like put some links and hashtags. I'll give you an example on that in a second so that you can actually have a look on how these things could look like if you wanted to. And, adding links can be helpful if they are related to the video. Or if you want to put sources on there, hey, if you want, I did this cooking video, you can actually buy this stuff here in case you want to. And also, the importance is also that you have some kind of consistency on your texts in general if you put them up there in your videos. Now, let's say you have created a video and you have actually done that. So I'll just give an example. I'll go to my channel with you so that you can have a little look on a couple of things actually. So Let me just share my screen here, and then we're gonna have a look on my channel and how this is structured. So obviously, as you know, this is the channel. Here you go. Here's the channel. Here's the banner and everything, as you know. Now, welcome to the world of Ragos, where rhythm moves souls, and so on and so on. Here is my text of the channel. So let me just try to make this a little bigger, if that works. No, it doesn't. Okay, not that important. So here's a clear structure of a text. What is actually happening on my channel, right? There's techno trance house music. I play a lot of DJ stuff. Twice a week I do a talk session, means I sit in front of the camera. People can talk to me in the chat. Sometimes I even do an open panel. Culture, creativity, and stuff like that. That is the essential thing just of my channel. Then you have some links here, stuff like that, where I'm from and all that stuff. So this is just for your sake. So you've got to understand yourself, what is actually going on my channel? What are the essentials of my channel? What are the most important topics for me that I'm transporting to my channel, and therefore to the world, so to speak, to the audience of the people who really are interested in my work, in my channel, in my content, what I'm doing on my channel on YouTube, right? So this is just like the other side of the book, the back side of the cover, if you will, so that you actually understand, okay, or that me as a viewer of your channel will understand, okay, there is this going on, this is happening regularly, and so on and so on. Put a little consistency on that. And if you try something new on your channel, if you create a new playlist, for instance, you do regular talk sessions, all of a sudden you do a reading session, create a new playlist, and then also make sure that the description of your channel is always updated. It's always good to have some changes there, and that also helps you to get up into the Google search / YouTube search. It really depends on, obviously, on what people are looking for on YouTube. Okay. Now, this is just the overview for my channel. Now, if you look at my channel, I go to playlists. You'll have a little different view than me because I have a lot of private playlists on there. Let's focus on some things. Let's go through those ones here that you just see what's going on my channel. So obviously I do YouTube tutorials nowadays as well. So here, YouTube tricks and smart things. There's a little button on it, a little emoji on it. Then visual loops and background vibes. That's what I do. Talk sessions, as I just discussed. I do my own material in kind of music, so I create my own tracks. And then there's some mixed stuff of whatever we have to do. Now, and Premiere DJ sessions and so on. All these others are not mine, except the live sessions here, obviously. Now, here's the thing. If you have looked to this video, to this one that you're now watching, you might have noticed there's a little text inside. And the text inside is actually a very, very cool thing for people to understand what actually is the topic of this particular YouTube tutorial. Is it relevant for me? Yes or no? And it is actually relevant because you're watching it, right? So what is the meaning of SEO or SEO? Why is it so essential to have a text? Now, the thing is, nobody will buy a book without any description. Let's just go back to the book, the old good old-fashioned style. Nobody will buy an empty plate where there's nothing on there, right? So you want to have some food on the plate because you're hungry. But if you don't see that there's something attractive on the plate, you just pass the plate. That's what they're going to do with your channel. Therefore, it is really essential that you really give them something to be curious of, And it does not have to be the New Testament in the length of the text. I'll give you an example in just a minute or two, so that you understand what is the importance, or why should I actually watch this video? Why should I watch this live? In many, many live sessions in particular, I don't see any description whatsoever. Obviously, I do visit some channels because I know people on YouTube, but there is no description in the live session whatsoever. So I'll give you a couple of examples to look at for live sessions, as well as for pre-recorded sessions like this one. Okay, So here's the deal. I'll give you an example. Let's go just through this, and let me just mute this real quick. So okay, I'm gonna pause this. This was a premiere a couple of days ago. How to set up a YouTube premiere? Surprisingly, now as you see here, yeah, there have been some comments, and seems like there have been some views and stuff like that. 3 days ago it is when this is recorded. So what happens? So this is the view that you have when you just open the video. However, people having search buzzwords that they put into YouTube in the search bar there, or on Google on the search bar there. And remember, YouTube belongs to Google. So whatever you find on Google might also pop up there with your YouTube link. You can test it out. Go to Google, put in anything of, let's say, Carl Cox, right? Put on Carl Cox, Carl with C and Cox S is COX. Put it in there. He's a famous, worldwide famous DJ. Put that in the search bar on Google and see how many YouTube links appear on the first page. It's insane. And he doesn't even have an own YouTube channel. He's a world star DJ. So whatever happens. So why is he found on Google? He doesn't pay for it. And the people who write that stuff most likely also won't. But because of the actions on YouTube that happened, or on other websites that happened, because of what is written in there, and there are certain keywords that have to be used. So let me give you a little example on this one. So this was premiered on July the 2nd. Do you want to premiere your next video like a pro? So this is a quick tutorial. You will learn how to schedule your premiere, what settings actually matter, how to create hype before it goes live, and what to avoid. Trust me on this one, true, because we all made our mistakes, right? So it will not happen for small YouTubers like I am that you will be on the top of the page of Google. But if you put certain buzzwords on Google and search for premiere settings or premiere tutorials or something like that, you will see that there will be very similar things that are all related on YouTube. Okay. Also, hashtags, make very sure, if you use hashtags, and you should actually make sure you put them on, relevance with the topic. For instance, here, I put like how to premiere, content creator help, YouTube help, YouTube tips, these little things, so that people are actually going to look. And sooner or later, maybe one of your videos will go viral, because at that essential moment when you put a certain video up with a certain topic, then you have the opportunity to be seen a lot more and popping up on search machines, like especially in Google or YouTube, a lot more. So it is very essential that you put that. So this is for a premiere video that I did, and just to give you an insight on how that looks like. So, and another essential thing is also for live sessions, right? Live sessions, if you do one, first of all, my strong recommendation would be have it prepared, like in scheduling. Like, for instance, today is Saturday. Today is July the 5th, 2025. Now, I will not set up a premiere a live session for a half an hour, because no one will be notified. The notification is not only the text, but it's a big part of it. So notification, people need time to understand what's going on the channel if they have subscribed to yours, right? And obviously, if you are interested in having more viewers constantly for them coming back, you can tell them already in the live session, in the chat or something, hey, by the way, I've got a new live session coming up then and then. But if you do it smart, you do two things on the live session, which are essential and really helpful. Couple of things. First, today is Saturday, so I would do a scheduling for a live stream earliest for Monday. So for in 2 days. Why? So people who have subscribed to your channel will be already notified there is a premiere going on, or there is a premiere upcoming, even in this case. And in that case, they can even hit the notification bell, so that is going on. Those are your subscribers. Now the question is, how would you actually gain more subscribers and more viewers on your video? So one of the essential things, as I said, is the ultimate SEO text on YouTube for the description of the video. Now here, this is me, this is just me doing a live session. Obviously, it's pre-recorded. So here you go. There is a little bit of, here you go. You have I have quite some comments. Now, if I go here, you see it's a total different story. What's going on? You're happy for a coffee? This is my little link. If you want to buy me a coffee, happy if you did. Welcome to the zone where tension, So I put a little relatively short, but short text, but this is a total context to what's actually happening in the video, right? Yes, of course, it says Underground Techno live stream. It's fine. Welcome to the zone where attention, builds and release is earned. Here's some buzzwords in there that is used. Drop a like if you are riding the wave, and so on and so on. Music licensed, and then obviously some hashtags here. The interesting thing is the hashtags, as we all know, are very sometimes responsible for certain trends in the internet. That also applies for YouTube. So be aware that you are really doing these texts also, or especially when you do a live session. Try to avoid spontaneous live sessions unless there's something super important you have to say and you know that your audience is actually watching. Otherwise, better put it as a premiere, and then you can say, okay, it's going to be live in 2 hours, and then you still have enough time to go on, to get a nice text in there and stuff like that. Interestingly, a lot of people underestimate the necessity of writing, of having a little text in there. And as you see, the text is not long, right? It's not like the New Testament in the amount of words or something like that. It is just a relatively simple text, but SEO based, so that people are finding it in the search machines a little easier. And that is very essential that you take care of that. Would like to give you a last example on this, so that you are seeing what's going on. So I'm also creating my own tracks, and having said that, actually I'll give you 2 more examples. So I've created some own tracks as well. So this one went live just today in early morning, so July the 5th. If you ever want to watch it, this is by the World of Ragos. This is by myself, The Darkest Day, right? This is the latest title that I have released on YouTube exclusively, by the way. And so this is just like the description. Short and sweet and sharp, the description of the text. Then if it speaks your language, like it, say something from the shadows, and then obviously some things here that are essential for people who create music, copyrights and all that stuff. Then you should think about, obviously in this case it is a release, a track release, one that is a track that I've done by myself. So you put the, here you go, Dystopia sound, and so on and so on and so on, so that people actually YouTube exclusive, new release, that's the hashtags. Don't put it too long, but make sure the plate that you offer to your guest who is coming to your channel is not empty, but is at least filled with, let's say, virtual starters, if that makes sense. And that can really be helpful to get more viewers in the long term. And even if people don't come to the live session or something, unless so as long as the text is interesting and as long as people are curious, they might even watch afterwards. And I've seen that many, many times on other channels as well as on my channel. So this is just another example. I'll give you a last one. So what I do on a regular basis is what I call the regular talk sessions. So either I have someone invited or I have someone, I do it on my own. So here's me, for instance. So if I go to, why does it not show it like this? Okay, 50, I know this is the, okay, here we go, not a problem. So there's a lot of talk sessions that I have. Now let's, let me get this on pause real quick so that you can have a look more focused on the text. This is, oh no, this is long, sorry, this is a long time ago. Sorry for that. This was a spontaneous session, but not a problem. You can go to my You just go to my playlist and you can have certain examples on how things are actually going, so that you have a couple of things that you can look at. Or you just go to my live, show you another example. Let's see. Thursday talk, here we go. Let's take that one. That's a better example. Short and sharp, sweet and spicy. Here you go. Just 3 lines and some hashtags. There you go. Why? Because people might not necessarily go to someone who sits there on his own and talks for a couple hours or something. But on the other hand, I think it is really essential that people know what's going on. I'll give you another example here. This looks a little better. People mentioned stuff like that. So there's, things are going on. Yeah, I think I mentioned the word Mother Teresa in my chat in my live that day. So this is here obviously already in the transcript. Now, why is it important that you take care of those things in the first place? You want people to come to your channel. You want people to come to see you, and maybe you even want people to come again, not only subscribing to your channel, but coming back on a regular basis, because subscriber does not necessarily mean regular visitor. The visitor actually wants to know before she or he comes, okay, what is the content? What is the context? What's going on there? These are the 3 essential things that you can do with a couple of simple texts. Now, to give you a last tip, so to speak, for free today even, if you're not too good in texting, and that is no sin whatsoever, you don't need to pay you don't need to pay an expensive agency for that. There's tools that you can use for free, such as ChatGPT, right? You can go to ChatGPT and say, hey, look, I'm a YouTube content creator and I do this and this. This is my topic for today. Can you maybe help me to create a text, a SEO text for my YouTube channel for the description of the video? And if you do it even super smart, you also let ChatGPT create a text for your channel board. So if you're on your channel board, so if you have a video premiere coming up, or if you have a live coming up and you have scheduled it, again, do it a couple of days before, either for the live or for the premiere. For the premiere, make sure you create a text for the video, either live or premiere, it doesn't matter. And also then, once all is uploaded, once all is done, once all is set, tell ChatGPT, hey, can you also create me a text for my channel board? So that people are aware, hey guys, there's a video coming, you put the link, there's a text, You can modify it by yourself, but at least you get a rough idea, right? So my strong recommendation would be never leave an upcoming premiere or a upcoming live session empty, because that might let people avoid watching your channel because they might not find it interesting, even though I'm sure you have super content, you have super topics, but make sure it is actually be seen like that and that people get curious. So in the end of the day, it is actually up to you to not only have the key for the door to open it for the people, but to open the door wide to invite people to come to your place. Therefore, I hope this was a little bit helpful. And if there's any question, feel free to put into the comments. And talking about comments, would be great if you leave one for the video and also a like. And if you want to know more, subscribe to the channel. There's a lot more than just tutorials. So enjoy. You have a great day. Wishing you all the best. And thanks for watching. Bye-bye.